All right. So, depending on where you're watching this right now or listening to this, you may or may not recognize my voice. I'm Andrew. I am the host and the creator of the Revisionist Almanac. And if you follow me on social media, I have been teasing this moment for several months now. I'm sure you're just as excited as I am that I can finally share this moment with you. So, for nearly 2 years, I've been on this podcast journey more or less by myself. Then, over the summer, someone I've gotten to be pretty good friends with over the last year or so reached out to me with an opportunity that caught me completely by surprise. So, let me bring in that person, the visionary behind everything that we're doing right now. He's part of the Chicago Indie Critics Association. He's the founder and the editor in chief of MovieArcher.com. Let me welcome you, Adam Freed. Adam, how you doing, buddy?
Andrew, this is one of the best days I've had in a long time. I share your enthusiasm, your excitement. Anybody who's watching this can see all the smiling faces in all of these windows. It feels like this has been a work in progress for years. It's only been months, but cannot be more excited to share with an audience what we've got cooked up and exactly where this thing is going. And I've got to say, Andrew, on a personal level, getting to know you for your work within the podcast space, but also just as a lover of film, I am so excited to become what this thing is about to become and have you be a part of it. So cannot thank you enough for agreeing to come along with this crazy idea, but hopefully it's not so crazy after all. And the other thing I'm really excited to do is to welcome in two individuals who I have the utmost respect for, not just as podcasters, but as cinephiles and cineholics like we all are. Jen Hahn and Sarah Callan have been doing amazing work on really two different podcasts, both TV and Us, and then Movies and Us is where I really first got to know the two of them. And Andrew, I think you and I agree that when we came to the conclusion that this was going to happen, they were the first two names that came up for both of us, and it wouldn't feel right to go in the direction that we're going without the two of them. So Jen, Sarah, welcome, and thank you so much.
Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. It is so thrilling, I think, to see all of our faces together on screen. We have been in conversations together on multiple different fronts for this for a while now. And guys, we've arrived. So this is very exciting. We are going to share a little bit about what the big news is. I think we've all hyped this up on the socials and all over different platforms for a while now, but the grand reveal has now arrived. So starting in 2026, the conglomeration of all of our shows and channels are now joining together to run farther, faster, better together. So Movies and Us, TV and Us, the Revisionist Almanac, and MovieArcher.com are coming together to become this incredible, glorious behemoth. And we're excited to see all of the opportunities that are going to be unlocked in this area and really furthering the film industry and sharing this love together and with our communities. It's going to be very exciting. So these three podcasts together will be the cornerstone of the new Archer Vision wing of the website and kind of the first feature podcasts and content creators that are going to be part of this brand new adventure. So we're very excited about it.
We are so excited. And I feel like we need to insert some fanfare or something. We need some applause or air horns or something. We are so excited about this. And the good news is that if you are already a fan of Movies and Us or TV and Us or Revisionist Almanac, nothing is changing to what you've come to know and love from our shows. But each show will now be brought to you by Movie Archer. And you'll still be able to find our shows wherever you normally get your podcast. You'll be able to get the video on YouTube. And bonus, now you can also easily access each show's full catalog on the MovieArcher.com website. So we are so excited for this opportunity to be able to team up and just see what we can do together.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I think it's exciting to see all of our content kind of join and get braided together in this really fun way. But I think what's most exciting for both Sarah and I is just getting to work alongside the three of you and just seeing the care and the attention and the love for this medium and for joining forces together and building this community that Adam, you have with that incredibly sharp brain of yours and seeing that mega 10,000 foot view. And then Andrew, you are an incredible connector in the community, and Nico on the YouTube side. It's just exciting to see this conglomeration come together. So I think we're most excited about getting to work alongside all of y'all.
And for everybody who's watching right now, you might say, well, we've talked to Jen and we've talked to Sarah. We all know Andrew really well, and we've seen Adam a couple of times. Who is this other guy? Nico Caruso. Nico Caruso.
Who's this guy who shows up wearing this winter hat when it's still still barely October?
You know, in all seriousness, when Andrew and I first started talking about this idea and, you know, had our first meeting with Sarah and Jen, I knew that one of the goals here was to create a diverse team of movie lovers, people who brought different skills to the table. And Nico is a Chicago-based film critic. He has a very strong following on YouTuber. I know he hesitates to be called a visual content creator, but he brings something to the table that I didn't have at moviearcher.com. And he has a youthful exuberance for the industry, but he also has a very different perspective than I did. And so when we talk about diversity that we're putting together on this team, that involves age as well. And so bringing on somebody who is young and energetic and as talented as Nico Caruso is something that I'm also very excited about. So when we built this team was built with thought in mind. And he is a massive part of what we're going to be seeing visually and through audio moving forward. So Nico, welcome aboard. So excited that you would have us.
Thanks for having. Wow, that intro! I was not expecting that. That was so kind. Jesus.
Surprise.
Yeah, Adam. One, I'm so thankful to be here with you all. Mainly because as I've gotten to know all of you and engage with everything that you all do in a variety of ways over the last few months, it's been so fun, and I'm just honored to be here. We're all young in spirit and energy here. I want to put that out there. We're all young here. Okay, it's life's, you know, it's time's relative. Age is a number, you know. There's always time. But what's cool about joining this is, one, Adam, when you came to me with this idea, it felt so confident, and it was that confidence and the desire to make something really special, which is really what sold me on it. When you texted me, I think I took a little bit of time to respond, but I was going to respond right away. And I'm like, well, let me not play it too eager. Let me play a little, let marinate a little bit, right? Because I was ready to jump. And for the three of you who may not know this, Andrew, Jen, and Sarah, Adam was one of like my first friends in the Chicago Indie Critics. He's one of the first people who really talked to me and care that I was there. Not that other people didn't, but I think anytime you join an organization of 50, 60 people, I didn't know anyone in it when I joined, and I went to those first couple of screenings and kind of just sat, by myself, a little quiet, which was okay. Dude, I know, man. And I forgot what screening we talked a lot at. Maybe it was Saturday night or something like that.
That
you
was
came
it, yeah.
up and you were like, how are you? And I see what you're doing. You were right away very encouraging on Twitter and Instagram. You would share everything I was doing. And so when you came to me, I felt honored. I felt seen. And I've also been looking for something like this. So I've kind of been doing my whole thing on TikTok, on YouTube, and for a while. And it's sometimes the motivation wanes because it's hard doing everything on your own. And it's much more fun with the community, with the family. So the fact that the four of you will have me I'm so lucky, and I can't wait to keep doing this with you all. I consider myself very lucky to be here. So thank you all for that.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing to build on, really, because you're probably wondering, why are we doing this exactly? Why did the five of us come together? And to Nico's point, we've all been doing our own thing in our own little corner, and I think we're all happy to be independently doing what we do, but sometimes it's nice to crowdsource ideas and brainstorm together and collaborate with each other. And I think that the nice thing about Adam is, over the time that he and I have gotten to know each other over the last year or so, I think we both have the same vision for the way to represent content online, whether it's written form, video form, audio form. And then when Adam approached me about it, he was like, hey, I think you'd be great to be the podcast to start this thing. And I was like, you know, that's very flattering. I don't think it makes sense to just be Rev Almanac. I think we need to bring somebody on immediately alongside. He and I quickly both took a note of who we thought would be the perfect match to join us, and we both held up a piece of paper and it had the same name or names on it, and it was, of course, Jen and Sarah over at Movies and Us, who share the same vision that we do for working together, collaborating, positive energy, joy. There's just something that the two of you bring that nobody else brings in the podcast space. And I consider myself very fortunate to be able to take this journey with the two of you, with Nico as well, who I'm getting to know pretty quickly. And then, of course, Adam, who's kind of steering the ship as our captain, if you will. So that's really the why, is to get us all together and to help each other grow as one, I think is the big goal there.
Yeah, the vision behind the podcast network, like so many of the visions that I come up with, they either pop into my brain while I'm sleeping or while I'm mowing the lawn. This was a lawn mowing idea, and I literally got done. And while I was still sweaty and covered in grass, I texted Andrew and I said, hey, set aside some time. We need to talk. I've got something that just popped in my mind, and I think it really is something. And the vision that I drew out on, like the old bar napkin conversation, I went inside, and on a tablet of yellow sticky notes, I just started scribbling ideas. And what came about was the idea of formulating this podcast network and this Movie Archer podcast network, where people have a consistency of voices, a consistency of personalities. It doesn't mean that there won't be fun surprises, that there won't be these new looks within the industry. Andrew, your show, Sarah and Jen, your shows, I should say, have done such a great job of celebrating movie history. But as we look forward, I think that there's going to be a whole bunch of content where we can celebrate movie history and then simultaneously invite this new and exponentially growing audience in to celebrate the contemporary film scene as well. There is so much going on. I mean, just this month, walking into the holiday season, that we need to talk about. And these are things that I'm going to be very excited to listen to Rev Almanac, to listen to TV and Us, Movies and Us, and just get the perspectives of everybody on this call right now, because I think we're going to do a great job with it. And so when I talk about change, what loyal listeners are going to do, and I'm going to preface this by telling a family story. Just yesterday, my wife, who I love dearly, was irate at the people at Chili's, not the individual workers. Nope, she's not like that. Corporate Chili's has done her wrong because they changed the recipe for the queso dip. Did you guys hear about this?
I did not.
And nobody called and asked her opinion. And she is probably one of the top purchasers of Chili's queso dip. And she got this push notification yesterday, like, hey, come to Chili's to try the new queso. And she, like, her world stopped. It tilted off of its axis and the earth started spinning backwards. And so she felt like, why would you change something that was perfect? And here's the segue. Our intention as a part of this Movie Archer podcast network is not to change the things that people love about Movies and Us. We're not changing Jen. We're not changing Sarah. We're not going to change anything about Andrew or Rev Almanac. We're going to keep all of the things that made those shows so successful, and we are going to infuse it with a whole bunch more opportunities. The thing that I told everybody here today that I bring to the table is access to filmmakers, contemporary filmmakers that are changing the way that we see and experience movies in the 21st century. And so if there's things that you love about Sarah and about Jen and about Andrew and the things that you're going to get to love about Nico, those things are still intact and they aren't going anywhere. We're not changing the queso dip recipe, right? We're going to offer you multiple types of queso dip. If the metaphor has gone too far, please mute me, right? Please.
Never enough queso.
But, hey, yeah,
for those
queso,
of you,
great metaphor.
Anybody worried, rest assured, you're still going to get what you show up for, what you download every week, right? And there's just going to be a whole bunch more. And that's what we're so excited about, that you're going to witness the growth of shows that you love, and you're going to develop new and deeper reasons to love them and continue to love them. So that's where we're going to be. Now, beyond that, the next question that's going to pop up is, okay, so when do we get this? And, we're recording in mid-October. We're going to, this is going to go live in late October, just before Halloween. As of January 1st, 2026, the Movie Archer Podcast Network is going to take flight. And you, like I just promised, you're going to get the things that you're going to get, and you're going to get some really fun new content on top of that. So cannot wait for that to happen. But between now and then, mark your calendars. January 1, 2026 is going to be a very exciting day.
Yeah,
That's so hype. I'm sorry.
I would like to say,
I want to run through a wall after that. Hell yeah.
So good.
The proof's in the pudding with Adam, quite honestly, and I'm sure Jen and Sarah and Nico can all attest to this. The moment that we sort of did the handshake agreement about doing this, my email inbox started to get flooded with contacts that Adam has been kind enough to pass along, and the amount of doors I've already found myself walking through, and people I've already had the chance to talk to, and future guests I'll have the chance to interview, and I'm sure Jen and Sarah will have the chance to interview on their show. It's going to grow at a rate I don't think I was expecting, quite honestly, and it's very, very exciting already at this stage. I can't even fathom where we're going to be in January at this point. It feels like it's taking off like a rocket immediately.
The doors open quickly, but to your credit, the talent that you are alluding to, they are agreeing to do this because they do their research, and they've listened to your shows, and they've followed your feeds, and they know that what we're doing is heading in the right direction. So talent like what we've booked doesn't book without all of you. And so that happens because of you, not because of me.
We are so excited about it, because I think that especially for Sarah and I, and I'm sure for you both, Nico and Andrew, there's so much opinions and thoughtful commentary that we have as consumers of the art that's being created, right? But there's this distance between us and the creators and their hearts behind why they wanted to bring this story, or they wanted to invest in these people. And so we're just so thrilled to be able to like lift the curtain a little bit more on that, bring those people to the table, share a moment together with them, and have them share their hearts behind the things that we are gushing about or commenting about. So being able to lift that veil a little bit, I think is going to be really exciting. It's something that we wouldn't be able to do without Adam and so many of the connections and the relationships and the investments, Adam, that you've made in the industry, and with all of the incredible people that have built trust with you that are now by terms of property, allowing us to have opportunity to elevate their platforms and elevate their art as well. So I think that is going to be so thrilling to be able to bring some more of that to the public and have people hear the hearts of the creators more.
All right. Well, I think this is the perfect opportunity to segue into the second half of this right here, which is we've all watched a ton of movies in 2025 at this point. We've got 5 people here. We can put together a nice round number of 10 movies. So we are going to collectively, one at a time, run through what we have determined as the 10 best movies of 2025 year to date. Does that sound good for everybody?
Can I offer an additional challenge?
Go for it.
I think if we all wrote down, our 10 favorite movies of the year, we may have some overlap. So the challenge I'm going to throw out to the panel here, no overlap, no repeats. So if Andrew takes a film, it is off the board. So I think this is going to be a great exercise for the 5 of us to share a little bit of our movie-going minds and hearts with this expanding audience that we're developing. And it's going to be, double down on this, a great opportunity for all of the people who love movies and us, TV and us, and Rev Almanac to now get to know Nico, who brings a very unique perspective to the table. So with that being said, and, I don't know if we drew straws by age or what it was, Nico, but I kind of feel like it would make the most sense if you let us off with your first pick.
So Okay, yes. One, I'm honored to be able to go first. Once again, we got to fix this whole age thing. This is not, I'm not going to start.
You got to enjoy being the baby of the group.
It's okay. I know. I feel like, but like, I don't know.
You
like,
are
I
the
don't want y'all
Spider-Man to our Avengers.
Well,
Yes.
that is that's my favorite character in existence. I have this tattoo on my body. So I would love to be your guys' Spidey. So number one, which I know this is in like no particular rank order, but because I am going first, I think this is the best movie of the year, no doubt. I'm gonna make the four of you agree with me. I'm just kidding. Do I talk about the movie too, or do I just like say it and it's like a mic drop?
Let's go with the title. And by the way, I cannot wait to hear what you say, because I think there's probably about 20 different things, knowing you, that you may go with here. So I'm on the edge of my seat.
I do like a lot of things.
But if you give us the title and then maybe just like a little bit about either the film itself or the filmmaker, I'm guessing, knowing you, that you may mention something that some of our listeners haven't experienced yet. So maybe it's an opportunity for you to sell that to some of our new listeners.
I like that segue, because the movie I have that I would put in this number one spot that I'm not sure if everyone has engaged with, I'm sure maybe a few of you on the screen has, is Ava Victor's Sorry Baby, actually. Sorry Baby, Ava Victor wrote, directed, stars in the film. The reason why this is my number one film of the year and why I chose it here is because I'm a very emotional viewer. If a movie can get strong reactions out of me, whether it be tears, whether it be significant discomfort, or whether it makes me think about something deeper and something really important in the world today, then it is a grand slam for me. And that was Ava Victor's Sorry Baby for me. It's the funniest movie of the year, and at the same time one of the most emotionally shattering movies of the year. And the way Ava Victor kind of straddles that line, and they show so much restraint with the subject matter, and they really trust the audience to grasp what's going on. And I saw it at Chicago Critics Fest back, I think it was in late April or early May, and Ava Victor was there too. So I got to hear them talk about it, and not to like skew, that's the reason that, I was with the filmmaker and everything like that. It was just, you could feel there's only been a handful of times where I've been in like a large screening, and you could feel like everyone is on the same page and feeling the same emotions at the same time. And I'm not talking about like the MCU and Endgame when everyone's going crazy and stuff. I mean something like really deep and stirring, and the movie, it impacted me with what it was saying, and then it made me think about so many other things in my life and things that have affected other people in my life. And I love this movie so much, and I hope everyone else loves it too. So Sorry Baby is my number one.
What a pick.
Nico, the thing that you just said that really connected with me was you used the word restraint. And, one of the central tenets of moviearcher.com on the written side, all of the television reviews, all of the film reviews that we've done, and we have a very gifted writing staff, is that we don't want to spoil, right? And I think what you just did was a perfect example of teasing this film. It is a film that could have been so heavy-handed, and it was it's serious subject matter, but it was dealt with in a way that you perfectly stated. It is restrained. It is still impactful. It's a movie it took me probably a week to get over, and it still echoes in my mind. And I saw it months and months ago. So, wow. Look, if this is the way this is going to go, you're going to make this a very difficult draft for us, because that film was definitely on my list.
I'm mad at you for taking it off the board already.
Oh, well, okay, I'm sorry. Well, but now I'm in trouble. Now I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're in trouble now.
I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah. I don't know how Jen is going to follow that up, but the old randomizer wheel told us that, Jen, you've got the second pick. So I cannot wait to hear what you've got.
All right. I'm going to hit you with a film that I'm bringing to the table because I'm mad there wasn't more conversation and discourse about this film. It feels like it came and then it went like a whiff. And so I'm here to continue to talk about this movie. It's Black Bag, Steven Soderbergh's twisty, clever, witty spy thriller film. And even 90 minutes, which we don't get films like that these days. I don't know why we need it to be 3 hours and you got to pee in the middle. But this is a smartly lean 90-minute film. It's incredibly sharp. I think that what strikes me is how quick and clever the dialogue is. It's super fast paced. It's a film that trusts the audience to keep up. Throughout the entire film, I had no idea where this was going. It's as you can imagine, very twisty, lots of betrayals, doubt, casting on every character. And I think what also impressed me so much about this film is while it does the big spritzy spy stuff, it's an incredibly emotional film about the nature of marriage and the deep trust and bonds of marriage and whether that can be trusted and relied on with your partner or not. And I think that the bookending 2 scenes of this movie, the opening and the ending, is a fascinating framing for the rest of the film. So I'm trying to not spoil this movie at all, but give you enough to be really intrigued by Black Bag by Steven Soderbergh. I just haven't seen a film that's been able to be so lean, so sharp, so smartly done, incredibly witty and clever, and it just tickled my mind and my heart in every way. So Black Bag, Steven Soderbergh, that's what I'm bringing to the table.
Have costumes looked better on actors in any movie this year?
Right. Stacked cast, by the way. Like if you want to see incredible acting.
Stacked. Yeah. I'm like, I could probably pull off a roll neck sweater. And then I realized, oh wait, no, I'm nowhere close.
None of us are Michael Fassbender, you know?
No, not even close.
Soderbergh's the hardest working retired director on earth.
Honestly, though.
Yeah.
Wow. Jen, very convincing. I didn't think you'd be able to follow Nico, and there you just did. Sarah, that puts double pressure on you now.
Mm-hmm. I know. I can't screw it up with this pick. But, y'all, I am going to choose what I think is the best movie that I've seen in 2025. And that is Sinners.
Ah, there we go.
It
was
had
only
to
a
be
matter of
done.
time.
You guys left Sinners on the table. Come on now. Oh, just a fantastic movie. I when we were thinking about this list and I was compiling my potential options for this, I was thinking about what is the most fun that I've had in a movie theater this year. And Sinners right at the top of that list. I saw that twice in the theater, and both times were absolutely electric. This film is just fantastic on every level. Acting, the technical components, the cinematography. There is one scene that made me want to jump out of my seat and run around the theater. It was so good. I have watched behind the scenes footage of this because there are just things I needed to know how Ryan Coogler did this. This is just a fantastic film on a technical level. It has so much to say, and the more that you watch it, the more meaning that you can discover there. And also, it's just so culturally relevant too. There is just so much here on a technical level, on a cultural level. Also, I have been obsessively listening to the soundtrack for the past 6 months. So this had to be on my list. And if you have not seen Sinners, please stop what you're doing and go see Sinners. And if you have seen Sinners, go watch it again because it's a great time all over again.
I just had to scribble Sinners off my list. How many movies have a brilliant soundtrack like you mentioned, Sarah, but then have an equally powerful score? Usually you get one or the other. Holy, what a movie. You said you saw it twice, Sarah, in the theater. Did you get to see it in a premium format? Did you get to check it out in IMAX?
I didn't. No, my schedule just didn't align with that. So it was just regular both times.
Nico and I saw it together at the Chicago premiere, and the theater where they showed it, it is the largest IMAX screen in the city. And I didn't understand what I was walking into because we see a lot of movies in IMAX, and to see that movie in that format, it just kind of reminded me oh, no, this is what it's supposed to look like. At what point I think I just looked over at Nico and he gave me the my face is melting kind of look. And I was like, yeah, this is really happening.
We were hyped.
You got to rub it in that you guys got the good stuff in Chicago over there.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
The good stuff can be shared, my friend. That's why we're here.
Sarah's got it good in Dallas too. I'm sure Jen's
Road
got it.
trip.
I'm just slumming it here in St. Louis.
Which is not that far from Chicago. You know,
know.
you can go hang out
You
with
know,
Adam.
you
Hop in the
sound like
car.
me. It's
The
not
amount
that
of-
far.
The amount of messages I get from Adam, he wants me to like move in next door to him. I'm convinced of it.
Real estate is available, my friend.
There's ways to make that happen.
Oh, I don't know who the unlucky person is who has to follow up Sinners now that it's been crossed off the list. But
That would be
who
you.
is that person, Andrew? It's me.
That's you.
You're the purveyor of the order here. So I've
You-
ap got the fourth pick.
Yeah, you got the pressure now.
I've got the least amount of hair, but the only pick at 4. Okay. So the good news is I've still got some things on my board. Not everything is gone. And you're not going to believe me when I say this, but had I had the number 1 pick, this is the movie I would have taken. And a little bit like Nico, going with a little bit of a change up here. This is a film that I got to experience at Tribeca 2025. And this was a film that I knew very little about going into the festival. And the movie Honey June, written and directed by Lillian T. Murrell, knocked me off my feet. Couple of reasons. Number 1, this is one of the best looking movies of the year. It was filmed on the islands off of Portugal, the Azores Islands. So it is a beautiful filming location. It's a wonderful story about a Persian mother and her very Americanized daughter who've come together on the islands to say goodbye to their husband/father and to spread his ashes in one of the last places where he was truly happy. And the divide generationally between them is one of those moments where you say, am I watching a documentary, or is this a film that somebody actually wrote? Because I think most of us, especially those of us who were raised by baby boomer parents like I was, there really is a generational divide, and that doesn't change anything about the love that you have for your family, but we just view the world in a very different way. And that, when you couple it with the cultural differences within the film, it really works. It is amazing. And like what Nico said about Sorry Baby, it has this brilliant, soft-spoken sense of humor that never for 1 second reduces any of the punch that the emotion or the drama of the film has to offer. And that 100% is a product of the wonderful writing and direction by Lillian Merrill. It could not be more picture perfect. It was very well received out of Tribeca, and within the last month, it was just purchased for distribution for a very large sum of money. And so I'm very happy for the Honey June production and for all of the wonderful performers that took place on screen, because it is a movie that I think people are going to love as soon as they have access to it.
It's on the watch list ever since you've been hyping it up, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
hyped for it.
You know what else I'm hyped for, Andrew? 4 of us have now picked, and that means
Good
I
luck to you.
turn to you at 5, and I guess that means you're on the turn. So for people who don't understand a snake draft, Andrew, that means you'll be picking 5th, but then you get to pick again at 6th before we come back around.
So I love being on the turn on a snake draft. I always like getting to double up. Full disclosure, Sarah stole my number 1 pick. Sinners is my number 1 movie of the year still. But my number 2 is still on the board, so I'm going to take it. And that is Zach Kreger's Weapons, which is
Yes, sir.
the follow-up to his 2021 film Barbarian, which kind of caught everybody by surprise that this guy dropped this movie out of nowhere. I saw Barbarian and was like, whatever Zach Kreger does with his career, I'm there. I'm hyped for it. So I was at Weapons opening weekend. I loved the way that, I'm a horror junkie at heart, and so we're in this wonderful era right now where horror movies are sort of the last bastion of mid-budget movies that can do well at the box office. If you make a movie for a moderate budget, you're gonna get the horror crowd to turn up. Weapons got the people in the theaters. It made a ton of money relative to its budget. It's scary. It's got a ton of jump scares. It's wickedly hilarious in spots. It's got this sprawling epic story about it, sort of like Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia, in terms of it being told from all these different chapters and perspectives. And let's all just take a moment to talk about Amy Madigan, who steals the movie without revealing what she's doing in that movie. She is the lifeblood of Weapons, the way that she turns that movie on its head about halfway through. I loved it. It's one of the rare experiences where I went to the movie theater again and saw it a second time because I had such a great time with it. First time I watched it was all about trying to figure out the plot. The second time I went there, I was trying to watch all the technical mastery that Krager has. He uses tracking shots really well. It's beautifully crafted start to finish. So Weapons is going to be my number 5 pick.
Is there a more memorable character this year than Madigan's?
Halloween's going to be lit this year with Aunt Gladys. All right, so I'm still on the board for
Don't go anywhere.
pick. Okay. This movie, there's been no movie in 2025 that surprised me more with my expectations and what I think of it now. I've logged over 900 movies on Letterboxd in this year alone. And this movie is the one I've logged the most at 9 times now already. I've probably seen it more than 9 times, quite frankly. It's
What?
Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters.
No!
I love you. I love you so much. I'm so glad.
It's a rare movie that gets my wife, myself, my 7-year-old, and my 5-year-old all to the TV constantly to go back and rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. We listen to it in the car. Now, I'm not a K-pop fan typically. It's not a genre I've ever gotten into. So this movie's kind of like my introduction to the world of K-pop. And if K-pop is anything like this movie, I need to start listening to this 24/7 because it's just like the entire soundtrack is a banger. This might be my favorite pop soundtrack in years, just like in all mediums. Every song is just it's ridiculous how good the soundtrack is to this movie. Nico, you know what's up.
Is it a good time, Andrew, to tell you that the Movie Archer headquarters is going to be in Seoul, South Korea? So if
I'm
we're
there.
talking about moving. All right, yeah, Nico, you had a visceral reaction when you said K-pop.
Yeah. I think I heard "I love you" from you.
I love you.
That was
Andrew.
beautiful.
That
Glorious.
was on my list. It would have been mentioned if we got something like more than 2. But I just think the movie's so special. I was late to it. I didn't watch it until August. It came out in June. I think it came out in June, and I saw it in August, and I was like, the songs were still starting to pop, and I'm like, okay, is it going to live up to the hype? Not only did it blow me away, that soundtrack goes, brother. Like, I work with kids. I work with a lot of kids, and that's been like the fun part of working with kids is when there's something really special in like the zeitgeist that like they could connect to that also spans age. Because age is a theme on this thing, I guess. See, I'm tying it all together, right? It's just to watch them, like it's such a cultural movement, and the movie really is that good. I feel like the soundtrack, the songs, the album, because it really is an album, has sort of, I think, kept it in the zeitgeist and has brought people to it, which I think is brilliant. But the movie is like, I was bawling my eyes out. It's so relatable.
The messaging is so
like,
strong.
I need to fight my demons too, man. I was watching it going like, oh wow, I gotta confront some things.
And the animation,
and I might have to start
stunning.
doing it through song. Yeah. Yeah, it's stunning. Sony Pictures animation with Spider-Verse, and I joked, I'm like, they should be in Spider-Verse 3. I think they could help Miles out. I think they're all he needs to figure it out. They could do anything. They get stuff done. No one gets more done than those 3.
Well, and it's great.
Crossover
And we're just on the heels of last week from when we're recording this right now. They just did the first live performance of the song on like the Tonight Show. Yeah. Oh my God. And for people who don't know, I was learning the backstory in real time about EJ, who's the lead singer, and how she had sort of been pushed to the side in the K-pop community and sort of gotten resigned to being a songwriter only because she sort of aged out. And now she's living the dream and she's front and center. And it's just a beautiful story, a beautiful movie. everything about it. It's made our family connect more. We're rocking it in the car every single day. It's just it's rare to have a familial movie experience of this degree, of this cultural magnitude. And so K-pop Demon Hunters had to be on the list.
Andrew, you
when they're
mentioned
at the Oscars, when
they will be.
are
They will
live
be.
at the Oscars, that's gonna
Yeah.
hit like what I imagine crack feels like. I've never done crack, but I would imagine that's what it's gonna feel like. Just putting that out there. I've never done crack. We do
Andrew,
not
you
endorse
mentioned
drugs on this podcast.
characters stealing Halloween. I have an 8-year-old
yeah.
daughter who came home frustrated from school because every single girl in her class wanted to be K-pop Demon Hunters. And she's like, no, I want to be a capybara. I do not want to be. And she loves the movie. She's the one who brought it to me. But you want to talk about just a tidal wave of Halloween ideas. So, Andrew, I got to say, between Weapons and K-pop, those are probably
Range.
the two most dissimilar films that will be drafted by anybody. But
You're
again,
welcome.
Jen, you just said it. We've got range, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We do.
We've got range. And speaking of range, vocal range is one of the things that I absolutely love when I listen to live performance. And because I'm now following along on this list, I know I've got the 7th pick and the snake draft has come back to me. And I am so excited. I have to ask for everybody's permission, though, before I draft. Can I draft a short film?
1000%
Yes, we'll
yes.
allow it. No, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Range.
Do it.
Okay, good.
Go for
Like
it.
Jen
This
was
is on my
saying.
list. I'm excited that nobody's taken it. I just mentioned vocal range. Well, this is a short film that is absolutely running roughshod through festival season. And it's a short film directed by Sam Davis. It's called The Singers. And a little bit like Honey June, I first encountered The Singers at Tribeca this year, way back at early June. And I made a point this year to watch as many short films as I could because I do think that they're underrepresented. And I know, part of being an editor in chief and is I want to look at where are the gaps in our coverage at Movie Archer, and I want to be as representative and diverse as possible. So I started really digging into short films. I don't give many 10 out of 10s on my written reviews. The Singers, there's no score I could give but a 10 out of 10. And a little bit of the backstory is amazing. So this was originally written by a Russian novelist by the name of Ivan Turgenev. And I know he's pretty famous for some people, and people who aren't in the literary crowd. Worth a Google. He's done some good things. And what Sam Davis has done is he has adapted that very, very old story into this short film. And the premise is beautiful. You have this very blue collar, somewhat rundown bar in the middle of an undisclosed city. It's a cold winter's night. And inside, you just have these beautiful tendrils of cigarette smoke and this yellowish stained ceiling of year after year after year of people at the end of their hard day. They go in, they decompress, they talk about their day, they complain about their job. They literally tell war stories. Veterans of Vietnam are talking to veterans of the war in the Middle East. And the only thing that they all have in common is that they find themselves on this night in this place. And the premise reveals itself very, very quickly. And I get goosebumps even talking about it. The cinematography, the execution, the believability, and the absolute heart that just cracks open and shows a mirror to humanity. Like, how dare you judge a single one of these people? How dare you say, I would never go in that place because it looks this or it looks that? Because the last 2 minutes of this movie, it brought me to tears. I instantly rewatched it. And I looked at myself and the way that I interact with humanity differently, all because of the magic of Sam Davis, because of his cinematography and this wonderful short film called The Singers. So that's my choice at number 7.
So good.
Yeah, a great pick.
Yeah, you actually turned Jen, Sarah, and myself all on to that film.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at when you sent it over, I saw Sam Davis, and I thought I kind of recognized that name. I quickly looked him up and realized he made maybe my favorite underappreciated movie of last year as a cinematographer there, Dee Dee. which is an extraordinary movie.
Brilliant film.
Yeah, so I was like, I got to check out what he's doing here, and it's amazing.
This
Well,
film
sounds
is
like
magical.
universal approval.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. To have goosebumps and tears at the same time is an incredible
And if you
experience with this movie.
the backstory on it too is incredible, where
Yeah.
he like crowdsourced getting all the actors who have different. They're all singers in real life, and he sort of like auditioned them all through their various social media followings and things like that. Really incredible story.
I think that backstory is so magical about this film, and specifically looking for singers and artists that had a moment of spark and fame and virality, and maybe wasn't able to continue that, and so being able to like use this film as an opportunity to elevate and help celebrate them and draw more eyeballs to them is like an incredible dual kind of mission of this movie, which is pretty incredible. Great pick, Adam.
Thank you. I'm so happy that I have all of your support. The exciting thing for me is that our draft is nowhere near done, and she's had to be patient, but I can't wait to hear what Sarah has for us at 8.
Yes. So again, as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about movies that I had so much fun watching in the theater this year. And this should come to no surprise to anybody who knows me and the movies that I like, because my next pick is Wes Anderson's The Phoenician Scheme. I am on the Wes Anderson train, and I am Jen, poor thing, has to listen to me just drone on about Wes Anderson all the time. And I had so much fun watching The Phoenician Scheme in theaters. It was just such a nice escape from 2025 to, dip into a theater and just be in a perfectly constructed Wes Anderson world for a couple of hours. And the visuals, stunning, as always, what we always expect from Wes Anderson. But great performance from Benicio del Toro, who does not miss. Holy moly. He is fantastic in Phoenician Scheme and some other things this year.
What a year he's having.
Yeah. And what really surprised me, though, about the Phoenician Scheme is that there is such like an emotional story at the heart of it. It is Wes Anderson's version of an emotional story. So there's like some walls there, but there's such heart there about, familial relationships and what like a father-daughter relationship can look like. And there's just a lot of depth there beneath the really beautiful sets and the perfectly symmetrical things and all of the boxes and all of the colorful characters. So I loved being in that world. I had so much fun. This movie is hilarious, but then it also, leaving the theater, left me with a lot to think about. So got to pick The Phoenician Scheme.
Great pick.
Awesome. It took until this moment and you mentioning Wes Anderson for me to finally connect the dots that I've always wondered who Nico looks like to me, and he looks like a character out of a Wes Anderson movie in the best possible way. Can we just kind of revel in his beauty over there as a Wes Anderson character?
Thank you.
And
when you said it, I'm like,
That's
is this good or bad? And then he said in the best possible way, and I was like, thank God.
He thinks you look like Royal Tenenbaum.
Exactly.
I'm thinking
honored.
Life Aquatic. He looks like he
Yeah.
could hop on the submarine.
You know what? I'll take it.
That's a win.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much, my friend.
We're developing a loving relationship already, Nico.
And I love it. I love it.
How, Sarah, you're putting up a pretty hard bargain here. How are you going to have Sinners and Phoenician Scheme?
Yo.
Hey,
that's
that's
gonna be
on
tough to
y'all.
That's
You guys didn't pick either of you had an opportunity, both you and Andrew. Though your picks were also very, very good. I think what the conclusion we're coming to, with 2 picks still outstanding, is that there were some really great movies in 2025, and the year still isn't even over. So that's pretty amazing.
We're just
Couldn't
getting to the
agree
good
more.
stuff now.
Couldn't agree more. Which means, we still have 2 picks left. The 9th pick, Jen, you have been so patient.
I'm so excited to talk about this movie. I'm finding there's a common denominator in my 2 picks because I'm looking at my notes. And for Black Bag, I have in all caps my notes, why don't they make movies like this? And for this one, my all caps is give this movie legs. So here I am talking about this movie, hoping that more people will get to experience this movie eventually. This is a film that is, I think, hard to find and watch, but here's my PSA. If you see DJ Ahmet anywhere on your screen, please click into it and watch it. This is the directorial debut for Georgi M. Unkovsky, which is incredible. I mean, it's an incredible first feature film. It's about a 15-year-old boy living in the rural village in North Macedonia. He's living in the mountains with his father, his brother, and in a very small, very socially conservative village. And the love of music that he has is such a healing journey for him as he's experiencing and processing loss. It's also positioned as advocacy against kind of the ideals and principles of his village. It's a love story, so he has a sweet little crush that he falls in love with along the way. This movie made me laugh and cry like moment to moment to moment. Getting to see this film at the Seattle International Film Festival was a treat to see it with a packed house. To laugh and to cry with everyone else was pretty magical. And I think what has captivated me about this movie in the months since is just how commercially palatable and accessible it can be for everyone. I just remember leaving the theater being like, everyone will fall in love with this movie, and it will also challenge and offer so much for everyone to sink their teeth into at the same time. And it's rare to find this like perfect combination of a slew of meaty themes while also being a great time at the movies. And this film is so smart and able to capture that. So DJ Ahmet is such a gem. It's such a feel-good movie while also challenging you in a lot of ways to think more. And if you see this movie anywhere in your vicinity, go drop everything, go run and watch this movie. It is such a gem, and I'm so excited to get to talk about it more.
Jen, I got to reveal myself here. This is the first movie mentioned that I have not seen, and I take pride in seeing a lot. I think you brought up a great point. When you patronize film festivals, you get to see things, you get to see directorial debuts. You are exposed to movies that don't have giant marketing campaigns, and they're not going to give you all of these for your consideration boxes because the money's not there. But it doesn't mean that the production value is not there. It doesn't mean that the stories aren't there. And so I thank you so much for adding a movie to my list, but also to sharing with our listeners the fact that this film, DJ Ahmet, needs to be seen. And so we have to do a little extra work to make it happen. But awesome. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, it's such a great pick. I times two what Jen said. We got to watch it at SIF, and it was one of those that we walked away from and we're like, there is something for everybody in this film in a good way. It's not one of those films where they like tried to do a bunch of things, but because the story is so narrow in scope and so focused, they're able to explore so many different themes and emotions, and it's a really resonant film while also being absolutely hilarious. And the visuals are fantastic. There's some really excellent cinematography in this film. So yeah, times two. If you have an opportunity to watch DJ Ahmet, you definitely should.
I want to give a quick shout out to Jen and Sarah for when you were at the film festival, you were putting up a bunch of social media reels for it, and I felt like I was there with the two of you. It was such a fun thing to experience, and the popcorn looked amazing, by the way. I remember you taking a picture of the popcorn, and I was like, that's some legit film festival popcorn right there.
That's professional popcorn.
When it's sparkling and catching the light because the butter is just drenched in it. Yes, that's when you know it's good. All right.
Whew, that's 9 films.
Pick. Yeah.
No pressure, Nico.
You know, it's now the whole I forgot it was a snake draft, and so I'm like, oh, like when you talked about the turn, Andrew, I'm like, I'm gonna be waiting a while, but I loved it. I loved it because a couple of these I haven't seen, so they immediately shot up to the top of my watch list, and more importantly, my favorite thing about talking to people after screenings or getting to know someone new and hearing the films that they're into, I learned a lot about you four in the last few minutes. And I think that's so cool. about like your tastes and things you look for and things that impact you. And I can only imagine as time goes on, the more I'm going to get to learn and know you for. And that's just cool. So it was cool to sit back there and watch that and enjoy it. Now I'm reminded of the pressure of closing the list. And now that's playing a factor. But I'll be honest, I ain't worried because I got you guys. We have to do this one because if we don't, Twitter is gonna kill us. But don't worry. I'll get us home safe. All right, homies. All right, homies. Forgive me, I don't remember the password or the name of the movie. The years have not been kind to my brain. No, I'm kidding. If you're just listening on an audio feed, you have no idea what just happened. I put on a pair of very distinguishable sunglasses that I also think will be a big factor during Halloween. You may see me be this for Halloween.
Where's the bathrobe?
They are. I don't. Yeah. I thought about doing a whole thing, and I'm like, let me not be that insufferable. I'll just be a little insufferable by putting these on. I also took off my real glasses and I can't see that well, so I'm just going to go off of vibes and the energy that you four are giving. I hope it's positive. I can't see. Is One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, a movie that feels like I'll be honest, I feel like between this and Sinners, I think these two will go down as probably the movies of the year for a lot of people. Year's not over yet. But in terms of the way they've impacted, I gotta take these off, guys. I can't. I can't.
You're saying such insightful things.
I was starting to like zone out. I was like staring that way, and I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. But what a movie that also, I think, much like something like K-pop Demon Hunters and much like Sinners, really lives up to its hype. I mean, it was getting a lot of praise when it came out. I even say at the top of my review, I really thought this was going to be the overhyped one. I went in. Were we at the same screening, Adam, or did you see it the week before me? You saw it the week before me, and you had the robe and everything. Yes, I was jealous.
I didn't want to say that out loud.
I just remembered. Yeah, you saw it a week before me. It's fine.
I was looking around. I was like, "Where's Nico? Where's Nico?"
Yeah. I couldn't go to that first one, and I was so frustrated. But I went to the second one.
Had you known the password, you would have gotten into the first one.
I would have got in. I couldn't pick up the phone the right way. What a movie. I love it because it's when you think of the word epic, it's every bit of that. And I also think the movie cuts really, really deep with the commentary it wants to give. And even like the way the movie opens is it's also so scarily timely. If scarily is a word. And he has this secret sauce for making movies that just feel like you're watching this and like you feel like it's the greatest thing you've ever seen. I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it definitely commands that reception. And it's a fun DiCaprio performance too. Like I'm a Leo guy. I know there's like, I feel like as time has went on, I feel like he gets criticized more, but he looks like he's having a blast. Chase Infinity. I mean, The Breakout is incredible. Teyana Taylor. I mean, Regina Hall. Del Toro, like you were saying, Sarah, like he's having a year. It's just a movie that is so captivating. To me, the runtime flew by. And I was just impressed that Warner Brothers let him make this movie. That's my other thing. The money they gave him, the way they shot it with the VistaVision, and in terms of how hard the movie goes in certain places, it was just a treat. I'm thankful it exists. I'm glad so many people love it. It's just one of those movies where you're going to look back kind of like Oppenheimer in 2023. Like, I think you're going to look back as like, this is one of the movies. A lot of people are calling it like the movie of the decade, or I definitely think if you want to say that, it's valid. So I had to put it on here. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. I had a great time with it. And, I think it's important. And God bless PTA. I hope he keeps churning things out like this for the rest of his life, because while I don't think all his movies are perfect or great, there's just something about him. There's just something about him that always feels special. I admire him so much.
But there's some perfection and some greatness in everything he's ever made.
And I think that's why, right? I think that's why I know every single time he's going for 110%. whatever that means to him in his brain, he sees it a certain way, and it comes across as so authentic and just a master at what he does. The shots of them going up and down the hill roads, like I didn't know like the camera could do that. Like I felt my stomach going up, like I was on like a roller coaster, and each time it went down, I'm like, "Where's the car? Okay, there's no car there yet. Oh, where's the car?" And then it was fine. Like, it was,
you know,
glorious.
It reminded me a little bit of The Shining in the sense of what you were just talking about, where Kubrick would trail Danny Torrance on his big wheel bike, and Danny would go around a corner, and just for that half second, he was privy to visual information that we didn't have as an audience. And although the two films are very dissimilar, I felt that exact same way. You'd get to that rise and you'd say, "Oh, I just need that information." And that little piece, it was like that pregnant pause in the filmmaking. It just gave such life to a movie that had such a runtime. I don't know if it says more about your genius, Nico, that you took the film, or if it says less about the rest of us for letting it pass over 9 picks before we got to it.
I'll tell you what, though, I respect that it wasn't picked yet. I do. I was waiting for it each time, and because I had it, but also like because I'm like if I don't, I got it. Pivot to something else. But yeah, it's I just think it's a movie that a lot of people are defining the year by, which I mean is impressive in and of itself, whether you agree with it or not. It's something to admire that a movie has, especially film fans and cinephiles, like everyone on this screen, right? I feel like even if it's not your favorite thing this year, you're like, One Battle was, I get it. So I also joke that if it wasn't on this 10, Twitter would destroy us. So I'm really just protecting us. That's what I'm trying to do. All my lovely new friends, I'm trying to make sure that no one gets cooked here. No. We cooked with the list. We're not getting cooked.
The best thing you can do now, Nico, you've seen One Battle After Another. You've drafted it. Jen and Sarah dropped their episode on that movie today. So go listen to them. I haven't even had a chance to listen to it yet. I'm so excited to dig into it.
Wait. Hell yeah.
And that's how publication crossover works.
Well done, Andrew. That was textbook. Well done.
Synergy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Synergy. What a great word. I gotta tell you, just this very brief 10 film conversation that we just had, I cannot tell you how excited I am about what we have coming up. We have brilliant surprises. Listen carefully to this episode. Some of our brilliant surprises may have to do a little bit about the conversation that we just had. But sooner rather than later, I think audiences of TV and Us, Movies and Us, Rev Almanac, of every channel and feed that Nico is a part of the readers at moviearcher.com, the people who have been enjoying Archer Vision, we are about to embark on a most excellent adventure. And we are so excited for all of you to come along with us. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And so thank you to everybody, Jen, Nico, Sarah, Andrew. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for looking deeply at the vision that I had and for considering it something that you would be even willing to consider. It is an honor that the 4 of you have agreed to come on board. I promise to continue to work as hard as I possibly can to honor the commitment that all of you have made to the Movie Archer family. And if it's going to be this much fun, here's to the next 10 years. Let's go.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't have tissues with me, Adam.
Yeah, dude, you're working some magic tonight.
Yeah.
My brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that all 4 of us would follow Adam into every battle, any set sail. He's the wide open seas. We would follow Adam, just seeing your mind work and bring and be a connector of all of these different superpowers and forces and places and spaces that we occupy together to create this kaleidoscope is so exciting. Kaleidoscope, queso dip tasting flight, whatever the metaphor is,
Shout out to Chili's.
All good things.
Synergy.
Shout out to Chili's.
Watch
us get sponsored by Chili's one day.
Yeah, there you go.
I know.
By the new improved queso.
Yeah,
we'll record a show in person one day, all 5 of us
at
in
a
Chili's.
There you go.
Queso.
With their queso.
No, wait,
Mhm.
now we have to. That has to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
happen, actually.
Yeah, so this was our Mount Rushmore of 2025 movies. Also, thank you, Andrew, for repping our merch. I also came prepared with your sticker for your show. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, and thank you all for joining us. Adam, Andrew, Nico, thank you for sharing this space with us. This was so much fun. And like we have said over the course of this hour, we are so excited to go on this journey with you. And so listeners, if you are listening to this on the Movies and Us feed, make sure that you go follow Revisionist Almanac. Make sure you go follow Nico on YouTube, follow Movie Archer, so that you can see what we're doing and what we're doing together. We are so excited for this journey. So that's it. That's the episode. We'll see you guys next week.